All right, man. Y'all know what it is, man. What's good with y'all? Talking Shit, episode 52. 52. Um, this gonna be a short show today, man. I'm just really popping in here to give y'all a quick little update. I'm actually having like a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're gonna work through this. We're gonna still do this shit for y'all. Just like I said, it's gonna be a short little show. I think I only got like 2 topics for y'all. 2 things I wanted to go over and just discuss and say my little piece about. And then if anybody pop in, they pop in. If they don't, man, shit, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Y'all know what it is. So anyway, let's get straight to it. The first thing I want to go over and talk about, everybody been talking about this Boosie situation, this T.I. and Boosie situation, and this snitching stuff. I honestly want to know how you feel. I want to know how y'all feel out there. I'm going to play this because this is I think this just came out not too long ago. This is from T.I. I don't have nothing, or I ain't seen nothing from Boosie's side other than what he said. And he on the feds, and I'm not gonna put the feds up on my shit because he on the Fed TV. If y'all know what that is, you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, let's get into this. I'm gonna give what I feel about it after this. So let's go ahead and check this little shit out. Let's check this this.
Interesting situation today. Pretty interesting situation, man. You are the headline.
A kerfuffle.
A kerfuffle, yeah. An entanglement of Instagram drama, for sure.
Yeah.
So, for those of y'all who don't know what's going on, Mr. Harris here was, for lack of better words, called out is the parentheses word we'll use.
Now, I don't even think that. It wasn't called out. It was questioned.
Questioned by Lil Boosie today, and the question is about this man's involvement of telling.
Yeah, cooperation. Shit was confusing because he and I have a relationship.
Right.
And it's so many times, like when somebody had your phone number and your address, and they could have called or pulled up, and you have like so many very, very important mutual acquaintances. It just baffled me as to how it ended up.
It's more ways to communicate than not communicate.
I mean, the public internet route is crazy.
Right.
But that's, I guess, what prompted you to reach out to me to say, hey,
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on here?
But I appreciate
we got
that.
Action? Yeah, man.
I appreciate that, and that's kind of what I would have expected from a person I have a real relationship with.
Right.
A phone call. Like, hey, bro, I got a question about
this. The respect of.
You did?
Yeah.
I mean, so that made it wild,
Because y'all did have that project coming out together, TV shows, all kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
a whole rollout.
Hey, look, man, don't now one of us need the other one in order to get out here and make that shake. You see what I'm saying? So whatever we were doing, it was because we wanted to do it.
Right.
Which, is neither here nor there. But when you are standing on something solid, you got to make sure what you're standing on is actually solid.
Right.
If you put your reputation or relationship that's valuable on something that you aren't sure of, and you speak on that publicly, what you're standing on ain't solid. And if it flimsy, then you are only as strong as this. You're going to be held accountable.
And not to interrupt you, but because we live in such a clickbait clip society, 30 seconds of news to tell an hour-long story, the pivotal point of this conversation that Boosie had with Blad is the word if.
Yeah, and that's why I was confused to me.
He never said T.I. did do this. It's if T.I. did this.
It can't be said. But anyway, so it went from sounding like someone searching about something, or excuse me, someone uncertain about something. Then they went to as though this is certainly what will happen on the other end of it.
Right.
Then they went back to, but I'm not certain. I don't even think that it's, and that to me, I couldn't follow it. I couldn't make sense of it.
Yeah, because it's the, if he is you know, had done these
if
things.
he did,
do these
I'm
things.
going to do this.
Right.
But I don't think he did. I wouldn't have never put that out there like that about nobody who I had any kind of a relationship with. I'd have picked up the phone and said, hey man, did you do this?
So in dealing in actuality of you guys' relationship, and dealing in what it actually is, would you expect him to know you better than that, to not even question it, or would you just expect the courtesy of a phone call of a real nigga, quote unquote?
I have to say both.
Okay.
I have to say both, which he kind of alluded to.
Because being a real nigga is why I called you, like, hey, cuz, what's the deal?
I just appreciate the thought of, you know, getting the facts.
Right.
And not just playing in the circus. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want facts, you want something real, then you come and ask real questions, get real answers.
From a real person.
And have a real understanding.
Right.
And if you just throwing out shit like, I don't know if it did or it didn't, but if and then, and that kind of like, they're just stirring up the circus.
Right.
And I wouldn't do that with nobody who I had no real relationship with.
So do you think he was more concerned about getting that click for that interview, more so than actual maintaining the relationship with the friend?
One thing I ain't gonna do is, I'm not gonna assume what nobody would do. I'm only gonna look at the reality of what was done.
What happened. Right. Right. Is there anything about that particular interview that made you, obviously the whole thing is unsettling?
I haven't seen it, bro.
Do you plan on watching it?
Nah.
Why not?
I mean, I got the gist of it.
I mean, but then one can make the point that you watching the clip.
Man, I ain't really watched that for real. People call me and was like, hey man, what's up with this? I'm like, man, I don't know, I ain't seen it. And I read like the headline of it, but I don't want to give it too much energy, to be honest with you.
Right.
But what I can do is address the facts.
Which are?
Yeah, I mean, for one, the conversation came from a conversation I was having on my platform, expeditiously. And having a platform, you know, my job, because I am not bound or restricted to nobody's opinion of me. My life don't change. No matter what you think of me, my life gonna remain the same.
Right.
So I have the luxury or the ability to say things that other people might not say. I can offer some alternative perspective to the way things are being viewed by the majority.
Right. Open up conversation.
Open up the floor for conversation about taboo topics. Free thinking.
Right.
So I have that that luxury, and that's what I was doing. But it came from a conversation that my partner and I were having, and that conversation was, hey bro, if me and you catch a case together, and I die before you, it's mine.
Right.
It's mine. He's like, nah, I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's mine. Why can't you?
Right.
I don't understand it.
Dead man can't go to jail.
I just don't understand it.
Right.
You understand? I mean, and he said, nah, I can't do it. You know what I mean? He said, man, I can't really say nothing about anybody who do, but I can't do it. So off of that conversation, I created a set of circumstances. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought that the embellishment was clear when I said I talked to my cousin and he told me.
They didn't get the satire in the conversation. They didn't get the change of inflection in voice. They didn't get the fact that you was basically being sarcastic.
Humor, sarcasm,
satire might be too much of a shit for him. Let's call it sarcasm.
Yeah,
he was fucking around.
Like that, and I'm aware of that. Like,
so, I mean, honestly, that's funny how they kind of went into that. So, basically, what I'm thinking, or how I like the way I kind of view it is like.
Are you ready to become your own?
Let me stop that right there. Okay, so all right, let me get to this. So the way I view it and the way I see what's going on, especially after that kind of tidbit, that kind of interview right there, is we all know how the internet is, and like they were saying, the internet is a real big clickbait society. Everything is for click. He has a platform. I didn't see it. I'm gonna watch it in its entirety. But what they just spun it into basically was that when T.I. said that, he made a scenario where he said something and he said he talked to his dead cousin and he put a case on him. He told him to take the case. So that right there, he's sitting there and now he's going back to say that people took the clip or people took what he said and it went over their head that he was joking or playing, and now Boosie mad at him. And that's funny as hell because that's how I get it, because everybody put it out there. They put it out there as that's what he said, that's what he did. That's hilarious. I mean, you already know where it is. He said it's on Expeditiously. If y'all want to go check it out, go check that full thing out and get the facts. Get down to the meat and potatoes of it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having an opinion, thinking this man really said something, and then, but he did what he set out to do. He got everybody talking about it, whether he did it for real or whether he created the scenario, his words, and put it out there in the universe. He got everybody talking about it, and it's funny that now niggas is trying to cancel albums all over some shit that might be a fabrication, like a lie, some shit that he said he would have did, like he said a scenario, something that he would have did if it happened. And I fucking scream. That's hilarious. So, like I said, it's gonna be a super short show today. I only got these couple of things. And I think I do have one Rashad Richey for y'all. So let's get to that Rashad Richey, and then we're gonna skip right to this main topic, man. Which, I mean, it's the main thing. This main topic, I mean, is something that, you know, it's kind of bittersweet. So, all right, y'all, let's hit this Rashad Richey up, man. Y'all know what it is.
The estimated hold time.
Man, I thank y'all for riding with me, man, while I had these technical difficulties, man. We're gonna get through this shit. So let's get on
18 years of age, shoots a Temple University cop in the face. Put up the two pictures for a mass. Hell of a story and very sad.
Wow.
Officer Chris Fitzgerald, 31, was gunned down on the 18th of February by an 18-year-old Miles Pfeffer. The officer was married and had 4 children ranging from 14 to 7. Fitzgerald's father was a former Philadelphia police officer. Person who allegedly did this is facing charges of murder of a law enforcement officer, robbery, carjacking, and weapons crimes. Let me give you background on what happened. The shooting happened around 7 p.m. after Fitzgerald attempted to stop 3 people near the boundary of the university campus for reasons that remain unclear at this time. Pfeffer was among the 3, according to police reports. By the time Fitzgerald neared the group, 1 individual had walked away and the other 2 began running. Those 2 were Pfeffer and his younger brother, according to investigators. When the younger brother ducked into an alleyway, Fitzgerald kept chasing the primary person, Pfeffer. This is how the encounter turned fatal. At some point during this encounter, Fitzgerald and the teen are thought to have engaged in a brief struggle. The teen, who was white, fired at the officer, which was caught on surveillance video, WTXF reports. The officer reportedly fell to the ground. The teen, the 18-year-old, stood over him and fired several more shots in the face and head area. After the shooting, this 18-year-old reportedly sifted through Fitzgerald's pockets and tried to take his gun. An action police say was caught on body camera. Affidavits say after the shooting, this 18-year-old Pfeffer then carjacked another person. Okay? The 18-year-old was heard saying on video, and I quote, "Give me the keys or I'll kill you," during the carjack. He reportedly then fled the scene before calling his mother, who picked him up in the city and drove him back to their 20-acre Boxley Farm property in rural Bucks County, Pennsylvania. How was he apprehended? This 18-year-old violent criminal lived on a large property where authorities told WTXF the teen had a history of run-ins with the police. Pfeffer, whose social media depicts him showing off his motorcycle and other shots spanning bands of currency, previously had been charged with making terroristic threats in connection with bomb threats at the Bucks County High School last year. On the morning of February 19th, several law enforcement agencies tracked him down to his home. Upon his arrest, he was handcuffed with the cuffs that belonged to Fitzgerald. Now, I'm asking people to help the family of the officer who endured this. There's the GoFundMe. Police officer Chris Fitzgerald, right? This is a tragedy that nobody should have to face. Naturally, the person who did this was apprehended with absolutely no issue. The family is struggling. And for all of those who say, oh, Doc is just anti-police, never have been. I'm anti-bad cop. Always have been and always will be anti-bad cop. I have contributions that I give to benevolent funds that take care of families of slain officers who are doing their actual jobs. They get killed in the line of duty. I've been doing that for 8 years. Not something I proclaim, not anything to shout, just what I do. So I encourage those who are moved by the story to provide some assistance to this family who did not deserve what happened. All right, Doc, thoughts here.
Horrible story in every way possible. A murder of another human, then robbed a dead person and took the cuffs, took the gun. I'm glad this person was caught. I hope they get the most severe punishment possible. I also want to highlight that this was a campus police. We work, I'm at Vanderbilt, very closely with the campus police here. And campus police have such a hard job anyway, because they're tasked with keeping campuses safe. Temple is in a, urban area in Philadelphia. So the task of keeping college campuses safe is a particularly difficult job in this moment, because, it used to be like, here's the safety bubble that we like to provide in college. But now the GOP has pushed all this stuff like, campus carry and let's get some more guns on campus and arm the teachers and stuff like that. So campuses themselves really struggle with safety. And so I want to highlight that, we really need to support campus police a lot more than we do. And I think they're unsafe in these examples by just trying to stop criminals from, getting onto campus. But they're also unsafe by a lot of the policies we have that just lets the proliferation of guns into fraternity parties and into classrooms and things like that. So campus police is really a much more dangerous job than it used to be, because not just of criminals, but because of policies that make it too easy for guns to, or encourage guns to flow onto college campuses.
Honestly, it's caught on video, so we really don't gotta know. This should be an open and shut case. It ain't really too much to talk about here other than rest in peace, to the young man. And, condolences to his family. This is crazy, man. We definitely, got to watch out for ourselves while we out here, especially at work, especially kind of jobs like that. That's kind of, you don't know who you dealing with. You know what I mean? Those job campuses filled with so many different people from all walks of life. Not to mention the people that don't even go to college that's there or that hang out at the campuses and shit like that. Just like he said, criminals on campus. That's just some shit, man. We really, I don't know, man. I just think that it starts within the community. Some things, the issue don't even really need to be pressed. Like, who knows what they was doing, you know what I'm saying? He could have just left them alone, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or, you know, who knows? I mean, but, you know, the situation didn't go like that. You know, hindsight is 2020, always. Like I said, man, rest in peace, man, and condolences to his family. That's just some sad shit, man. That's fucked up. This campus has got to get more secure. I mean, with the stuff, you know, with the things going on that just happened in Michigan, and like now this is another campus, and I'm sure there's other things going on that, you know, that we ain't even heard of yet, or other things that are going on. Like man, we got to come up with some kind of solution, man. Like, you know, we got kids and family members, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters going to these colleges trying to better their life. And I think it's sad that sometimes people, you know, and working at these campuses, they're trying to, you know, provide for their families. And I think it's kind of fucked up that these people's lives are in danger. But I mean, the way the whole country is on edge right now, and have been for the last 3 years maybe, is that everybody lives on the edge, and we are in fear of our lives all the time. Like, you could just be grocery shopping and get gunned down, or you could be anywhere. You could be at your kid's game, you know what I'm saying, and get gunned down, you know. And all of these things that I'm mentioning are regular things, but they all are things that have happened, you know what I'm saying. You can be at repasses and get gunned down. Like, this shit is just nuts, man. So, I mean, honestly, sad to say, but my stance on it, and I really stand behind that shit, I always stand on it, is arm yourself, stay armed, learn how to work your firearms, and choose your situations and your battles wisely, and know that if you do, you know what I mean, choose, you know, a situation that can get hairy, make sure that you're going to be the one coming out on top, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not condoning nothing or telling nobody to go out there and do nothing, but I mean, these are just things that you got to think about, you know, just period, you know what I mean, these days. Like, and I do believe everybody need to have some security with them, like, because people is crazy, man. People are literally crazy, man. So, they mentally unstable, man. And we talked about this last week. COVID got a lot of people's heads fucked up, man. Like, it's sad to say, and I don't want to sound cliche, but it really do. Like, deep down, like, we go to all the way to the root of it, the whole situation that we was in, and it was like solitary confinement for a lot of people, and it really fucked their heads up. It really fucked their heads up, man, on some real shit. So, last but not least, man, let's slide over to the main news, man. Breaking news. You feel me? Breaking news. So, I don't know. I think this is an update. Or, okay, now here's the jury. So, I believe his conviction just happened. So, let's see what's cracking. Y'all see. As y'all see, I got my Nip shirt on.
The breaking news is this. Eric Holder has been found guilty. First-degree murder for the famed rapper Nipsey Hussle. Let me repeat that. The jury has returned the verdict in the Nipsey Hussle murder case, and they have found that Eric Holder guilty. First-degree murder, not manslaughter, first-degree murder. He intended to kill Nipsey Hussle, targeted him, and the jury has spoken. We'll have more on this case later, but I wanted to bring you that breaking news. Holder faces up to life in prison, as you can see here, for this diabolical killing in broad daylight of the famed rapper Nipsey Hussle.
We're on the record in the matter of people
versus Eric Ronald Holder Jr., DA 475908.
So this will kind of be like a two-part. For those who don't know about this part,
good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Inside the courtroom and what happened like today or
there's a verdict.
Because the sentencing just happened
for
today.
Jury C12. Has the jury reached a verdict on all counts?
Yes, sir.
All right, please hand the verdict form signed and unsigned.
So this is the actual verdict.
You leave it in envelope. Clerk, please read the verdicts.
In the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, Department 104, the people of the State of California versus Eric Ronald Holder Jr., case number BA 475908. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Eric Ronald Holder Jr., guilty of the crime of first-degree murder of Ermias Ashkodong in violation of Penal Code Section 187, subsection A, of felony as charged in count 1 of the indictment.
All right, so that's the verdict. And let's see.
Hi, I'm Kevin Roach. I'm a professor here at C.
Breaking news, the man convicted of shooting and killing Nipsey Hussle has been sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. 32-year-old Eric Holder was found guilty of first-degree murder in July. He was also sentenced today for 2 counts of attempted voluntary manslaughter and 2 counts of assault with a firearm. For 2 other men shot at the Marathon clothing store, they both survived. Nipsey Hussle was killed in South LA in 2019.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button.
Like I said, it's kind of
Dan Nipsey.
It's kind of bitter. It's kind of bittersweet. Of course, we all know, Nip is gone. We all know who did it. We don't know the full motive. We know the motive. We all have our speculations. We don't know the full thing because nobody's in this idiot's head. But I mean, he could have got the life. He got 60 years. But honestly, I mean, just keep it funky with you. How I feel. I don't feel like my guy gonna make it that long in there. So it's pretty much a life sentence, man. So it is what it is. So like I said, man, it was gonna be a short show today, man. Rest in peace to Nip. Rest in peace to the young officer who lost his life, man. Rest in peace to everybody that's, condolences to everybody going through some stuff, man. Get well soon to anybody who is sick, dealing with ailments. Big prayers up, you know what I mean? You'll get through this. This will pass. Like we say, tell somebody you love them. And we out, man. You already know, man. Gallimaufry. I'm going to put the link down there. Gallimaufry, y'all go check that out. Tony Spitz got The Critic coming out. In my own lane will be here soon, man. And the Drain will be here within the next couple of weeks. I know I keep saying that I'm going to send y'all the what's the name, put the what's the name out, but honestly, I ain't done with the graphics. I've been trying to I've been dealing with a whole bunch of other little stuff, man. But I definitely gonna get that to y'all, man, within this next coming week, man. I promise, man. So, like I said, man, y'all stay cool, man. Tell your folks you love them. Call up somebody, tell them you love them, man. Hug somebody. Whatever you gotta do, man. Just spread the love, man. No hate. You feel me? All right, man. Talking shit, man. We out. Episode 52, y'all.